Welcome to another episode of Community Chat. My name is Kevin Tachi, and I will be your host for not only this program, but we also have a series of interviews that we are going to be doing with candidates who are running for the open Board of Selectmen seat. That election is going to be coming up on Saturday, September 21st. I'll tell you this now, and I'll tell you at the end. If you're not sure as to your voting status, where to vote, how to vote, contact the town clerk's office. They will be more than happy to give you all that information. Today, we happen to be speaking with Abigail Gendreau. She is going to be our guest. Abby,
hi.
Welcome to Community Chat.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
You got it. Easy question to start off with. Tell folks a little bit about yourself.
Hi, so yes, I have been a lifelong Abington resident here in town. I graduated from Abington High School in 2016. Went to all the schools leading up to that point. Was involved in all sorts of activities throughout town. Then went on to study actuarial science at Bentley University, graduating in 2020. And now I work at Point 32 Health in Canton in my post-grad. And so I'm just looking to kind of give back to the town and volunteer my time on the Board of Selectmen if you give me your vote.
So tell me, what made you decide to say, I want to run for Board of Selectmen? And if you're successful, what are some of your goals?
So I've always lived here, always loved Abington, and I thought as I'm getting older, it's kind of time. I've looked around. It's time, I think, for that next generation to really take the reins on the town. And I kind of thought, who better than myself to look to see what we can do just to keep growing this town that we love, making it better. It's definitely something, I want to do is listen to my fellow citizens of Abington, see what other people want, and make it a place that we can all love and support. And just really look to see where different money is going right now and where maybe we can funnel it into better situations, and definitely look at different grant options that might be available to the town and see how we could maybe get more funding and things like that just to help the town out.
What is it about Abington that your family decided to move here and call Abington your home? And what is it that you do to support local businesses in Abington?
So my parents actually moved to Abington when they got married, and they raised me and my brother and sister in Abington. But how they kind of ended up here was my grandmother came to America from Ireland many years ago, and my mother was raised in Dorchester, then Quincy, and when they were looking to get married, they kind of wanted to move out more, where to raise a family, and so they found Abington. My mom had a friend who had already moved here, and so they came here and they found our home where we still live, and that was where they planted their roots. And so I've always loved my community, and so I try to shop local whenever I can. I actually worked at Bemis Drugstore in high school and throughout college. I'm always try to go to those local businesses like that, and just really try to, if I can avoid going to those big box stores for things and finding those local guys, go to the local restaurants in town when I can, definitely.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the role of a select person. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the town charter or if you've had a chance to speak with folks at town hall. Do you have any idea what the role of a select person does?
So I definitely, when I've been going to town meetings since I've been old enough to vote, but had an interest in town politics growing up even as a child. And I have had an interest in I see them sitting there at the meeting and kind of going over the going over the town meeting and all of that stuff and bringing up their proposals. And sometimes I have like a thought in my head. I'm like, that would be a great thing to propose. I'm like, what do I do with this? So definitely kind of having those thoughts.
Okay. It's already being forecasted that there will be a shortfall for fiscal 2026, which could either lead for budget cuts or we could see layoffs in essential departments. Would you be in favor of a Proposition 2.5, raising taxes, or should the town make the necessary cuts and balance the budget the best way it can?
So obviously, I don't want to see any layoffs, but I don't want to see a raise to the taxes. I know money is tight, as it is for everyone. Products having a higher cost and everything. And you don't want to see layoffs. So as I already mentioned previously, trying to see what grants are available to the town of Abington and what money we already have in our budget that we can maybe reroute a little bit, and just trying a better usage of funds, a different usage of funds, kind of trying to see what we have. And another thing that I'm interested in is now we have those cannabis shops that we didn't have before, and trying to see where that money is, that tax money, and what is it going to, and maybe where can it go to, that new money we have.
Okay. Trash and waste is also another line item that is taking up a lot of finances. Fiscal 25, we saw it be a sizable amount, and it promises to be the same in fiscal 26. Should the town seek a possible user fee to offset the costs for future budgets, or stay with the current system? What do you think?
I would definitely like to see it stay at the current system again. I don't want to add anything to the pockets of the Abington residents, with money being such a valuable asset in our pockets. So looking at a system like the one we currently have, maybe seeing if there's a different company that can do it for less. But I don't want to add to the burden on the families in town.
Okay. Water is also essential. The town has problems not only with PFAS in the water, which they have to spend money to purchase filters to filter out the PFAS, and supply and demand. What are your thoughts on a particular issue like this? And if you're somebody who's sitting on the board, would have to make decisions about water?
I definitely, find the PFAS and contaminations in water concerning myself. I am not a fan of that. That's an issue that we have, and I know the ship has definitely sailed on not contaminating the water as society, but looking to clean that up is definitely something I am interested in, and would like to see Abington move towards having that cleaner water system.
Okay. If you are elected to the board, what are your thoughts on how the town and the departments deliver services, and how you could see yourself becoming a part of delivering services and helping the town?
Well, something like definitely just being available to the members of the town. I know now, even just as I'm running, I run into different people having conversations, and they're like, oh, if you get elected, make sure you do this or make sure you do that. This is an issue that I've seen, and so just making sure that I'm listening to everybody, and if somebody has an issue, even if it's not an issue I'm personally having, making sure that I look into it and I bring it up, because it could be a really big issue to somebody else.
Okay. The Southfield, or former Naval Air Station, has another new master developer. What are your thoughts on Southfield and how Abington's parcel of land is being developed?
I was actually at that town meeting where they were voting on Southfield, and I'm hopeful that, that land can have good usage, but definitely with how many times it's happened and then not happened throughout just the course of my life. Not to get too excited yet, but I am hopeful that this time Southfield is really put to good use and we can have that area be really thriving.
What if you had any say in it, or if some of the voters were coming to you with ideas? What have you heard from people in regards? Would they want to see it remain like conservation land, or maybe develop commercially, or maybe more housing? What are your thoughts, or what have you heard from voters?
Well, I know we definitely need some more senior housing in our town. That's definitely something we need to kind of look into. Some good places, affordable places where seniors can go and they can live. So that's one idea for that area. And that wouldn't necessarily put a burden on the school system. Seniors don't have school-age children, so that is another bonus in that.
Well, I mean, housing or lack thereof, affordable homes is a major issue here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. What are your thoughts regarding the newly expanded Route 18? We now, it's instead of it being 2 lanes, it's 4 lanes. Should the town consider maybe doing a little rezoning and putting more housing on Route 18? Or would Route 18 be better for maybe national chains to come in and maybe put more tax dollars in the rolls?
I would see Route 18 definitely being more towards commercial than residential, just because with the 4 lanes of traffic, I personally could never see living on Route 18 as it is now with people speeding by. I wouldn't want to pull out on it like as my driveway, so I can't imagine putting homes there. Definitely seeing that more residential for some tax dollars into the town. Or not residential, I'm sorry, commercial for tax dollars into the town.
Okay. South Shore VOTEC is actually seeking a vote from the membership towns. I believe there's 9 towns, as they want to build a new school. This vote is coming in January. Do you support their endeavor to build a new school at the cost of the taxpayers?
I think, schools are important, and that is an old school building, so it's definitely important to kind of look into what they're looking for their school. And without any of that information, I think it would be hard to give a hard yes or no without any extra information on that. But I think it's important to have good schools for the people. Abington kids obviously go to the VOTEC, but also being kind of, realistic about money and all of that stuff as well.
Well, talking about being realistic about money, currently the town is looking to start its project for the DPW fire station. But there are whispers about maybe the town should consider replacing the aging Beaverbrook and Woodsdale elementary schools. Do you think this is a project that the town can afford at this time, or is it something that should wait until the town's financial picture is much better and clearer?
It might be a better idea just to wait until the other project is up and running a little bit better. I know it will fall off of the taxes as well, that budget, and that might be a better time to look into expanding to building new schools for those age groups as well. But it is hard to kind of balance those things out when everything seemingly needs to be done at the same time. But again, also, there's always the ability to try to find grants and things for upkeep and even potentially new buildings. But, it's important to kind of be realistic as well.
Okay. What is the town's biggest need or known issue, and what should town officials do to address it?
I'm trying to think. Definitely some things I've noticed, just upkeep on roads and stuff. You're driving tons of potholes. So that's something a little easier to just be paved in, all of that. I think just something I'd love to see is just, again, where can we look to see what money is being spent and where we can maybe, I give this analogy. You sign up for like a gym membership and it's coming out every month, you forget about it. Do we have any of those like gym memberships we forgot about that we can take that money and put it somewhere else? Things like that.
Yeah, I get apps like that all the time.
I do.
Like I didn't realize I'm paying for this, Netflix. I don't even watch it. Topic or issue that we haven't touched upon. Oh, or maybe there's something we've talked about, maybe you might want to talk a little bit more about as we close and wrap up now. Anything we haven't touched upon, but you want to take a moment to talk about?
I think just a main thing I want to say is just how I know Center School too, that building is empty, and looking for something to do with that. I know I filled out a survey at one point, what should we do with this building? And I would love to see it get like turned into some affordable housing, senior housing, something, instead of just having that empty building sitting there. Good building. And as a school, already kind of like sectioned off into rooms, so like they could totally do something with it, and make that usable to the townspeople.
If folks want to find out more about you or your campaign, is there a way for them, whether it's a website, email, social media platforms?
Yes, I have a Facebook page. It is Abigail M. Gendreau for Abington Selectmen. You can find me there, or if you want to reach out to me, my email address is abbygendreau@gmail.com, and you can reach out to me that way as well.
Abby, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and we want to wish you the best of luck, you and all the candidates, the best of luck come September 21st.
Great, thank you so much.
You got it. And we want to thank you for tuning into a program like this, Community Chat. It's meant to make you better informed as to the candidates and where they stand on certain issues. And again, I'm going to remind you, if you're not sure of your voting status, where you should vote, if you're eligible to vote, go to the town clerk's office at Abington Town Hall, and they'll give you all the necessary information. And finally, if you have any ideas for shows, or if you want to just reach out and find out some of the things that we do here at Abington Cam, info@abingtoncam.tv is the way. And until our next conversation, have yourself a great day.